Hello there my fellow notebook aficionados and welcome back to the channel during CES 2026. After we had a look at what Asus has in store for gamers for the year to come, it's time for their consumer and creator lineups today. And similar to all the new ROG products, and please make sure to check out that video as well if you haven't already, but once again we get a pretty interesting mix of redesigns, completely new products and relatively simple spec refreshes. And while Intel's Panther Lake shapes up to be the headline upgrade for most manufacturers, Asus actually also sports some pretty interesting designs betting on new AMD silicon and also Snapdragon's 2nd Gen X2 Elite SoCs, so they should definitely have something for everyone. Let's get into it. Right away, I want to kick things off with the new Zenbook Duo, and I'm actually quite excited about this one since, for one, I like everything that's not your standard clamshell laptop, and I also think that Asus actually did a really good job with the 2025 version, which I've used quite a bit throughout the year. Internally, the refresh, or well, you could also call it a straight-up redesign, the Zenbook Duo 2026 gets the Panther Lake upgrade all the way to the fastest chip in the lineup, betting on 16 cores and the 12xe Arc built-in GPU for a more than welcome spec bump. To make sure you can use both screens even longer than before, Asus also increased the battery capacity, apparently by splitting the cells between the base unit and the display section. And while all of that sounds already exciting, the bulk of the refresh actually went into the chassis to improve your user experience. What you can see at first glance is that both screens are a lot closer together now thanks to a redesigned hinge, and because of using aluminum instead of regular old aluminium, Asus has also been able to reduce the weight drastically, bringing it closer to a regular 14-inch laptop, while again still offering double the screen real estate. The general setup with the wireless keyboard that you can place on the second screen in the base unit stays the same, and while I still have to get used to the more rounded design, I think the internal upgrades as well as the general usability improvements alongside much brighter OLED screens and a very healthy set of ports will make the Zenbook Duo once again a great option when needing a ton of desktop space on the go. If you want to go even lighter and prefer a clamshell design and a bigger 16-inch screen, the Zenbook A16 is a new addition to Asus's portfolio, following in the footsteps of the A14, which was a sub-1 kg Snapdragon-powered super mobile computing machine. Its bigger brother comes in at a whopping 1.2 kg, which is pretty nuts considering what it brings to the table, since for now it's the only Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme laptop we have seen from any company, and combines Qualcomm's 18-core monster with a 3K 120Hz OLED, the same aluminum chassis as its 14-inch brethren, and a pretty generous amount of ports. And I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed the A14 for all the everyday kind of things you do with a laptop. But it was, in the end, limited when it comes to performance. So I'm really keen on taking the A16 for a spin, especially with the new silicon inside it. Since in addition to being a great general mobile computing companion, it could also be a great lightweight creator machine, if the X2 Elite can deliver on Qualcomm's promises. Alright, that would be the new products, but we do of course get updates and refreshes across the whole Zenbook lineup, so the S14 and S16 for example get a new lid design and upgraded internals. Once again Intel for the 14-inch and AMD for the 16-inch. And since I want to keep our coverage as short and concise as possible, if you are after all the detailed announcements for every product, please make sure to head over to our website. We have a dedicated tag and subpage for everything CES. While we did talk about everything gaming already in our ROG video, the TUF A14 also gets an update, and actually quite an interesting one I'm slightly on the fence about, I have to admit. While the 2025 model was betting on an AMD Nvidia combo, the 2026 refresh will go Strix Halo, and while I personally prefer a Team Green GPU, I think AMD's Monster APU is a great fit for the small gamer, especially considering that last year's model was severely limited by its 16GB RAM config, and while the RTX 5060 variant will probably remain the faster option, at least in the graphics department, the update might be a more rounded laptop when it comes to balancing performance, noise and battery life. Apart from the new chip powering the 14-incher, everything else stays mostly the same. And I actually can't wait to put both generations against each other to see which silicon combination will give you the overall better experience. So if you want to see that video, make sure to leave your sub so you won't miss it. And while we are already talking about Strix Halo, why not keep it going, since there's another laptop that makes the switch from Nvidia graphics to AMD's SoC, which would be the ProArt PX13, a 2-in-1, which was introduced in 2024 already and was one of the most powerful 13-inch hybrids back then, betting on up to an RTX 4070. For 2026 we get two different models. The regular PX13 will keep the same chassis from the previous generation, but there will also be a special GoPro edition that will get a pretty sweet new lid design and comes bundled with a carrying case, some pretty extra packaging, a new pen and apparently up to 128 gigs of RAM, which should make for a pretty performant, creative duo-door that you can fit in every camera bag without a problem. Changing gears to Qualcomm once again, and Asus's PZ13 also gets a pretty profound redesign across the board. So not only will you be able to enjoy quite a performance jump, since we are going from an 8-core CPU all the way to the 18-core X2 Elite, but we are also jumping screen sizes to 14-inch with a high-res 144Hz OLED, apparently going up to 1000 nits peak brightness. The tablet itself keeps the overall super slim appearance, and once again you can sandwich it with a back cover that doubles as a stand and a keyboard that you can also use independently now, which is huge when you use this one for digital drawings or retouching, for example. And with a pair of USB-C 4s and a full-size SD card reader and the same water and dust resistance rating as before, the sleek tablet could be a traveling creator's dream as well, so you bet I'm going to check this one out as soon as I have the chance. Before we wrap it up for today, there is one more thing, which should make the business folks among you guys very happy. Since with the all-new Expertbook Ultra, a sleek 14-inch laptop combining the fastest Panther Lake chips with a 1400 nits tandem OLED in a 1kg package with a sleek and sturdy chassis and a haptic touchpad, Asus put together a very compelling and good-looking competitor for the ThinkPads or other more established boardroom computing companions of the world. So if this one is something you guys are interested in, let us know below and I will do my very best to get one of these in for a review as well. But that's it for today, and I know it's been a lot, and again with these videos I really just want to give you guys a brief overview about what's coming. And once again, if you want to know more, well, that's what our website is for, and I will leave the links to our dedicated CES 2026 page down below. Thanks a ton for watching. Please leave your like and sub to stay up to date with everything CES here on the channel. My name is Alex, you have been absolutely awesome as always, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.